What's up, jerks? Hot on the heels of VCW Hearts Wrestling, episode 27, which in itself was hot on the heels of VCW Hearts Wrestling, episode 26.
This is the fastest we've done things in a row in a long time.
It is. Well, all the stuff we do just happens in this confluence at the beginning of the year, and then we just don't do anything for 9 months after that.
Yes, but this is definitely the fastest we've ever gotten on it. Because, there's usually a few more weeks in between.
Oh, I agree.
Or we forget, and then we're like, hey, we haven't done this thing we're supposed to do, so that all 5 people that care about it can listen to it.
Exactly. The things we do for those 5 people.
Things we do for the people we love.
Do we love them?
I'm sure we have some kind of mutual respect for some of them.
Some of them.
Not all of them. You know who you are.
You know. We've been watching the WWE Network on mute, the way it's meant to be enjoyed.
Yeah.
And I guess we'll continue to be throughout this recording. Oh, it's gone. We'll never know how Seth Rollins makes movies now.
Yeah, we won't know how his sci-fi channel movie with bad CGI turns out.
Well, I guess we'll have to watch the real thing to find out. We watched one of the mixed match challenge.
Potentially the only good match that's going to come out of it.
Potentially the only good one, and
but we also didn't even really pay attention to it.
Not really, and it reminded me that all North American women are bad at wrestling.
Not a lie.
Even the good ones.
It is not a lie.
Even the good ones. The good ones are bad. The good ones are bad. The bad ones are worse. But I'm sorry. And this is not a sexist thing. If anything, it's a racist thing.
Yeah, that's true. It is a racist thing.
Because I do not say that about Japanese women. Japanese women, every bit as good as men. Like, in years past, Japanese women have had the match of the year. Not the women's match of the year, just the wrestling match of the year.
I agree.
And the North American women, they don't. They can't. I don't know what's wrong with their bodies that they can't use them to the same effect.
Their butts are lower. It's not fair.
I guess their butts are lower. None of them can run.
No, they have no concept of direction or
none of them can
speed.
run. None of them can strike.
Yeah, if you're asking for them to strike, you're sadly mistaken.
Sometimes there's an okay-looking arm drag.
Sure,
and that's like it. Like I don't know what to say, but spoilers for the end of the podcast. Our matches of the year do not involve North American women. Sorry.
What?
Sorry.
Sorry.
SOHRRY.
Yep.
So, yeah. So, what is this? What is this you're listening to?
You figure we'd be better at this at this point.
No. It's very charming the way we do it now.
Being really bad at talking about the thing we need to talk about.
I think it's endearing. I think people would be put off if we were too professional about it.
You know not to get even more off topic.
I insist that you do.
The one thing that I think most people don't like, is
wrestling.
Well, I mean,
we don't.
But that most people realize, but I didn't realize until we started releasing the Worst Year of Our Lives podcast, which is. I really can't stand the sound of my own voice.
I'm not crazy about mine.
I cannot listen to it. When I talk, I fast forward it and I can get past it.
Here's the crazy conflict that I'm in when I'm dealing with myself on podcasts. I also don't like the sound of my voice, but I do like the content of what I say because I'm hilarious. So it's very hard for me. Like, if someone could type out transcripts of my podcast so I could read them, I would love it.
Turn it into a book. Take your podcasts, turn them into a book.
If someone could novelize all of my podcasts, I would be the happiest of clams.
I don't know why, but when you were saying that you don't like the sound of your voice, but in my head, I thought you were going to say, but I like the taste of my own cum. I don't know why, but that's what popped into my head.
It's not without it's not without founding, but that wasn't in this specific instance what I was going to say. What am I? Where would this show have gone had I said that? Look,
where it's at right now.
Drew, I totally understand where you come from. I also don't like the sound of your voice, but I do like the taste of my own cum.
This has gone in a direction I didn't think either one of us expected it to go.
I'm so glad it did, though.
What are we doing again?
I don't know. I truly don't at this point. But
something about wrestling that we like and don't like.
Yes. So it's VCW Hearts Wrestling, episode 28. As I said, hot on the heels of 27. Etc.
Etc. Etc.
This is the year-end awards for 2018. Mm-hmm. We're just gonna bang them out now.
Yep. We're going ahead of time.
We're skipping last year because we didn't like it.
Because nothing good happened.
And we're just gonna do 2018 year-end awards. So worst match of the year: Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns at WrestleMania.
I don't think that's far-fetched.
But here, I was thinking Drew, on the very car ride here. Here's what I was thinking.
Okay.
Because last year, a WrestleMania main event appeared in our worst match of the year discussion. Spoiler, something very similar may happen this year. And I was thinking, do we do worst show?
Mm-mm.
We have
in the past, yeah. But we have definitely not
and
done it.
Last 2 years, for WrestleMania's been in the talk. So I was wondering, and because I was thinking this past year had 2 good matches, but nothing close to a match of the year. Exact same thing last year, 2 good matches, no match of the years. And I was trying to think, what was the last great WrestleMania match? And as much as I hate to say it, it was Brock Roman in 2015.
Sure.
So maybe it'll be this year. It won't. But
no. We're a big fan of Triple H Sting?
Look, you
don't like overbooked garbage where all of Hunter's friends get a shine?
It seemed like it might have been fun live.
Give him that little rub. I mean, there was a couple good things about that match, like Hogan and Hall and Waltman all taking bumps, and Nash fake blowing out his quad.
Yeah.
But,
it was all great stuff.
Other than that, it was complete dog shit.
At least the right guy won.
Sure.
And the war was over that day.
Gotta put yourself over. Can't let the competition beat you.
Can't
let a near 60-year-old man put you down for 1, 2, 3.
No. My goddamn company.
Yeah, that is true.
I'll beat who I want. We're kids. We eat what we like. So, what we normally do is we run through a series of categorize.
Yes. Category.
Yes. And some years we prep, some years we don't. We actually prepped this year. We both wrote shit down beforehand. Normally, as it goes in the discussion for each one, we think of more things.
Yep. As one is talking, the other one realizes things.
Yeah, that's a thing. Yeah. Etc. I remember one year I 100% winged it, and I would be scared to do that this year. I'm surprised I ever did it, but good for me, brave boy. I printed out all past year's winners, and Drew is currently pointing at submission sorority to me as what was that worst storyline?
Worst feud or storyline, yeah. Because they didn't research that was a porn site.
Was Paige in that?
Yeah, it was Paige, Becky, Charlotte. And then the other one was the Bellas and Alicia Fox. And then the third one was Sasha, Tamina, and Naomi. And they were Team Bad.
Right, they were Team Bad. And their mascot was a sheep.
Tamina?
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
Your dad's a murderer.
Definitely.
And dead, so good. Anywho, I'm sure there's lots of dumb things we can read off this list that would make us giggle.
There's a teaser for a teaser for something that will happen midway through the podcast. Drew will be issuing a public apology for one of his picks last year.
Fine, I will do it.
You have to.
Against my own wishes, I will do it.
But you must. It's the law.
Fine, it's the law.
Well, should we jump into it?
Yeah, I guess so.
All right.
Start at the.
I think we have the same.
Start at the 1 and then go to the 2 and.
Yeah, I'll be on the 1s and 2s. I'm DJing. So
yes. Yeah. So
what do we got?
Number 1.
Best gimmick?
Is it best gimmick?
All right. Let's do it.
I literally could only think of one, and it's, I don't know, good.
Okay.
Which is Aleister Black.
That was my number 2.
Because he kicks, and he backflips, and he doesn't talk, which is great.
Except that he talks sometimes.
A little bit, yeah. But
it was definitely cooler when he didn't talk, period.
Yeah.
It's cool when he rises up vertically from the grave in his entrance.
Yep.
It's cool when he sits down.
when he parks his keister.
Yeah, he's a real crisscross applesauce kind of guy.
Yep.
Yeah, and he's also a really good wrestler, so that's a plus too. But yeah, it's nice they didn't fuck a guy up. They seem to be doing well with young Thomas End.
Is it Tomas?
That's how it is in my head.
Sure.
I don't know.
Is that how it's actually spelled?
No idea.
I
don't know if his real name's Tommy End. I'll go that far. I'll go that far in admitting my ignorance.
Your ignorance of a Dutch professional wrestler?
Yeah. Are you looking him up?
I'm looking him up.
Come on, Tomas.
It is not.
Ah.
His name is Tom.
Just Tom?
Just Tom.
T-H-O-M?
T-O-M. Budgen. B-U-D-G-E-N.
It's not even a name.
It's not a name. Good for him. His previous gimmick was Thomas Van Dyck.
I don't know why you would... Well, hold on. D-I-C-K or D-Y-C-K?
D-Y-C-K.
That's Dyke.
Sure.
I do like Thomas Van Dyck, though. He's a big fan, likes to watch the oldies TV, likes the Dick Van Dyck show.
No, the Van Blank show.
Right.
You can't say it.
But yeah, I'm with you. He was my number 2. Number 1, obviously, I'm doing in Kelly's absence here. Chris Wolf is obviously the number 1 gimmick.
Of course.
It's
always nice when somebody commits to a wolf gimmick.
Always nice when somebody commits to a wolf gimmick, and you will never find anyone cuter threatening to eat people. So yeah, she's adorable and she wins.
Deal.
Worst fed. We should talk about the history of this award.
I will read you the history. So worst fed in 2013. Both of us said TNA.
Yeah, and what did we say about it?
With Scott commenting, this is the last chance to give them the award because they won't be around next year.
In 2013.
And then in 2014, all 3 of us said TNA.
Yep.
In 2015, I guess we didn't do anything, so that's probably just TNA anyways. And then last year, both of us said TNA with an honorable mention to WWE.
Yes.
There is a recurring factor in this.
Yes. I like traditions.
I like traditions as well.
But
whites with whites, colors with colors. I'm talking about doing laundry.
Okay, I'm like, laundry or schools? Laundry or schools?
Laundry.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't want to dye your clothes a weird color.
Who does?
Who does?
Hippies.
Sure.
With the weird shirts.
With their tie-dyes.
With their damn tie-dyes.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. Did you watch enough TNA this year to even, without just knowing that it is existing somewhere in the world?
Absolutely not.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I watched the tiniest bit.
Yeah.
I'm going to go off the board. I don't even have them written down.
I wrote them down because I have to write them down.
Sure.
But
they're not called TNA anymore. They're called Impact Wrestling. But
I don't know what they're called. Aren't they called Global Force? Aren't they called Anthem Owl Wrestling?
Owl Wrestling? Yeah. Yeah, I didn't write them down.
Holy shit, they need to be called Owl, Ontario Wrestling League.
Oh my god.
Why are they not Owl?
What are you doing?
Jesus Christ. Guys, I'm giving you gold.
Get your life together.
Come on, mid-level Canadian indie Impact Wrestling.
With no stars because you can't afford anybody.
Whose top star, as of the time of this recording, is Brian Cage.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
To the company.
Oh.
This is their last year of existence.
I was like, Brian Cage has a good chance of his heart exploding, so...
Sure. This is their last year of existence, though. They can't exist past this year.
Oh, no, let's put it on the record now. It's impossible that Impact Wrestling will be around this time next year.
What if they just progressively, for the next, several years...
Find smaller and smaller television shows?
Yeah, or they go lower and lower in the food chain, so it's like, all right, well, we can't do Orlando anymore, so let's go to, Toronto, which is, a reasonably big city in Canada. But then by this time next year, they'll be filming in Whitehorse, because they're like, this is the only market we can afford to run a wrestling show out of.
But then they have to eventually leave the first world altogether, and then
Nicaragua.
Nicaragua, just Calcutta,
Tehran,
Tanzania.
Yep. That's the only way that somebody's going to make this work, is if they keep going to poorer and poorer countries where they can stretch their dollar that much more further. Yeah, I didn't even write them down because to me they're
they're like a non-entity now.
I mean, they had a lot of bullshit that went down with them this year to make them worse.
Sure.
But I didn't watch enough to give a fuck.
Yeah.
So I straight up just wrote down WWE.
Yeah, WWE is number one. I put TNA number two because the rules are the rules. But
yeah.
That's not based on any. That's legitimately not based on anything that happened in 2017. That's just based on the fact that it's TNA.
Yeah,
but yeah,
impressive. But literally, when was the last time WWE did something good?
Ooh, interesting.
Even excluding this year, when was the last time they did something good?
Does NXT count?
I guess. But I'm gonna tell you that I wrote down NXT as a third choice.
Ooh.
Because once they called up all their good roster, they're all good members. Then their main event is still pretty decent, but there's a whole lot of no one gives a fuck.
Yeah.
It was the only WWE programming that I would watch on a weekly basis. Now it literally records on my DVR and I delete it without watching it.
Yeah.
Because yes, there's guys that I care about, a few of them, but for the most part, I don't give... They used to have entertaining tag team wrestlers, and they used to have, guys that you were, waiting for them to build up. Now it's I don't give a shit about the fucking Street Profits. Or the fact that...
You're a big Authors of Pain fan, though.
Yeah, I love the Authors of Pain. Good thing they're getting another title match at the tag titles.
Which they're probably going to lose and then get called up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But, and then, yes, Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly are there, but, spoiler alert, Bobby Fish sucks, and I've seen enough Kyle O'Reilly in my life that I don't need to see, there's nobody that he's going to wrestle there that I haven't either already seen him wrestle or care about him wrestling, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And, Sanity's over with, they're not popular anymore, and I don't like enough of I don't care about War Machine, and their women are pretty bad, and
yeah, what is their women's division?
Ember Moon, Shayna Baszler, and that's it.
And then who are the next biggest? Fucking
those Australian bitches,
Peyton Royce and Billie Kay.
Yeah. Because they called up all the other ones.
And
even ones that weren't even necessarily ready to come up.
Yeah, ones that were way lower than Peyton and Billy.
Yeah,
Liv Morgan and Mandy Rose and shit. They had done nothing.
Yeah.
On TV, and now they're on the main roster. floundering,
doing nothing. They're literally just there so they have enough women on the roster for the Rumble.
Yeah.
Also because Vince thought that the women's division was getting stale and needed more people.
Yeah.
But, like, hey, you know how you stop it from being stale? Come up with storylines and actually make things matter? Not just like, you know what? You can lose this week. It doesn't really matter to your record. And the next week, like, nah, you can win. Who cares? Is anybody paying attention to this right now?
No, what I think what we'll do is we'll introduce a 3-person heel stable on Monday.
Both shows.
And then, hear me out, a 3-person heel stable on Tuesday.
Gotcha. That is significantly better than the team on Raw.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember who's...
Raw has the lesbian MMA fighter.
Right.
Whatever the hell. I don't...
Is Sonya Deville.
Yeah.
She puts her hair up and squares up.
Yeah.
And, the hilarious thing about her, though, because, like, her gimmick and, like, life was that she was, like, a tough, like, non-glamorous MMA fighter.
Until they gave her colorful hair extensions.
Yeah, she was on Raw for 2 weeks before they glammed that bitch up.
Yeah. You can't be ugly. You have to be sexually appealing to someone.
Yeah, even fucking Nia Jax, who's just a pig of a woman.
Pig.
Who they push as being
beautiful.
Like, which it doesn't work on 2 levels.
It's a real Bertha Faye situation.
It's a real Bertha Faye. It's a real lipstick on a pig.
Yeah.
But
I believe that's where the definition came from. Was from Bertha Faye.
But on 2 levels, it doesn't work. One, it's like abjectly untrue, and 2, it's not good for the gimmick. Like, they shouldn't be beautiful.
No.
Like,
the idea is they're tough or a monster.
How does Nia Jax being pretty help her? It doesn't. It hurts.
It just makes guys struggle to do the not jerk off challenge. That's all it is.
The jerk off challenge.
But, like, it's the same thing with when they brought in Awesome Kong and, like, tried to make her look somewhat passable as a woman. It's like, no, Awesome Kong is bigger than 50% of your male roster.
Is there anyone who had a weirder WWE experience than Awesome Kong?
Super hype.
Make
a debut, but you get knocked up.
Debuted at I think her one and only wrestling match was the Royal Rumble one.
Yeah, match. She came down during a woman's segment.
A few times.
But didn't do anything.
I think she beat up whoever was there. I think she beat up the face.
Beat up some women.
And then, like, the 3rd or 4th time she did it.
Yeah.
She, like, sat down and cried.
Yeah, because she was pregnant.
And then her career was fucking over.
Yeah, done.
So weird.
Well, now she's an actress, but only in women's TV wrestling shows.
Oh, she's not playing Awesome Kong?
She's playing
King Kong?
Kind of Awesome Kong. Congo Kong? She's playing Congo Kong.
Is she climbing a building with a small white woman in her arm?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they really do like to make them look like fuckable.
That's stupid.
Like,
it's not like there's a lack of fuckable ones. Mm-hmm. There's plenty.
Sure.
You can have a couple different ones.
Yeah.
But Vince hates different, so...
No. Yeah. They all gotta look the same.
Yeah.
Everybody has to have hair extensions. And not just hair extensions, colorful hair extensions.
Well, yeah, why...
You can't just have longer hair.
Hey, why get the cow when you've got the milkshake at home? What is happening?
I don't know if that's correct.
You know what I mean.
Yeah. And I wrote down a third just for the fact that I only watch one show of theirs a year, and it is always such a fucking disaster, and that's AAA.
Okay.
Because this year's was...
No exception.
A complete shit show.
Yeah.
Like, literally, it seems like nobody's running the show.
No.
Nobody even really books the show. It's just like, who do you want to feel? Okay, you guys are having a match. Get out there.
Yeah, there's just a flustered old man in the back.
Yeah,
with no power.
And doesn't know wrestling.
Who doesn't know wrestling? He's just like, you go.
Yeah. You're up next. Just to get out there.
What, me? No, not you, Hugo. No, you go. Why am I doing this in English?
Yeah, all old Mexican men speak English secretly. They just pretend they don't.
I knew it!
Yeah. But, I think WWE is, like, hands down, just the wasted talent and Vince just being so unaware of what things are, and
Yeah.
I mean, I think even though it's 2018, I think evidence is the main event at Royal Rumble. Both main events at Royal Rumble are just like realization of like you don't know what you're doing.
A handicap match and a 3-way with Kane.
A 3-way with Kane, just big men, hosses.
It's all he knows.
Just a hoss fight. It's all he knows.
When you come down to it, it's all he knows.
Yeah, all he knows and all he can get hard to. He doesn't even get hard to women anymore.
No, that ship has long since sailed.
Yeah.
And yeah, Triple A sucks too.
Yeah, Triple A's pretty. I mean, I like literally only watched the one show.
Yeah, no,
but
it's a bad thing.
It's always the worst show.
Yeah, that's supposed to be their best show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Imagine what else is going on.
I could just imagine how bad the other shows are.
Exactly.
And it's not like they don't have good wrestlers. It's just they just don't know what they're doing.
Nonsense.
Anyways, the next one is
Best
technical wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
You can give yours. Mine are probably worse than yours.
Probably.
No. Yeah, go for it.
Okay. You... I feel like you don't have my number one because it's too obvious, but I'm like, sometimes the obvious is obvious for a reason.
Is it also somebody that I genuinely don't like that much? Because I'm reading it right here.
I don't know if you genuinely like any of them.
I like two of them. Well, one of them, and then one of them I haven't seen enough of, and the other one I don't actually like that much.
Okay. Well, I got 3 names down. What the hell? Put them in that order. 1, 2, 3. I got Zack Sabre Jr., Timothy Thatcher, and Matthew Riddle as my top 3 technical type wrestlers. What do you think about that?
I don't really enjoy Zack Sabre Jr.'s matches. I think they're boring, but that's just because I don't like that style of wrestling. I have legitimately seen one Timothy Thatcher match.
Was it live?
It was live. And Matt Riddle is very entertaining, and I like him very much. So, I enjoy the work of small men who wrestle in Japan.
Yeah.
So I would enjoy Kushida.
Yeah, that's a good call.
And then, of course, because he's my boy, is Marty Scurll.
Yep.
I'm not opposed to having Riddle on that list. And I will admit that Zack Sabre Jr. is a good technical wrestler. He's just boring as fuck to me.
I will not dignify him with an award.
He is boring as fuck. So, yeah, that's my options.
That works.
Number 4 is Most Improved, which I think is actually a pretty funny... my answer, at least, is pretty funny, considering what last year's worst wrestler was.
Ooh.
I mean, we both had several options.
Yeah.
My most improved wrestler of the year is Braun Strowman.
Yeah.
I think he's gotten significantly better.
Yeah. He was in a 4 3/4 star match this year.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous.
And I think also, like, as much as we shit on the E, he's really the only guy who is being used reasonably well.
No, correct. Guess
There's
why?
some bad stuff that they've been doing with him, for sure.
Some dumb cartoon shit.
Yeah, but I think
he's literally been murdered.
He's been murdered and attempted murdered people.
Yes.
By, like, trying to, like, bring down the whole set on a human being.
Yeah.
And flipping trucks and stuff.
Flipping trucks, being trash compacted in a garbage truck.
Did you see the reveal of him coming back with the Miz and the Miztourage in the
he came
limo?
Back out of the truck, right?
Yeah, but like the way that they did it,
yeah,
it was really like comic, like superhero-y.
Yeah,
but it was like pretty funny.
Yeah,
but like I honestly think like his matches are a little bit better. He's selling better.
Yeah,
he's
still like he's still a big dummy, and there's one thing once you know about his matches you can't unsee. The only way anyone ever gets offense on him is if he runs at you as fast as he can and you move. Yeah. And then he runs into something.
And he hits the turnbuckle. He hits the ring post because they do that.
He hits the post.
They do that 3 times a match.
It's so formula.
See, like, I don't blame him for that.
No. That's agents.
Yeah, like, that's just the only way you can take down a big monster.
Yeah.
Is by just, like, having him be clumsy.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know. I think he had, like, a pretty...
They do the same thing with Nia Jax, too.
Yes. That he had, like, a pretty reasonably strong year as far as, like, he was a main eventer the whole year.
Yep.
He's actually gotten pretty decent at promo work. Just because he's just, like, loud and yelly.
Yeah.
But he's, like, good at it. Like, it doesn't seem like he's uncomfortable doing that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, I think he's done really well. And then, like, my number 2A and 2B, because they're kind of like, are Evil and Sonata. Mm-hmm. Because I think they both really established themselves this year as just, like, more than just guys in Naito's faction.
Yeah.
Like, Evil had some solid title stuff, and then some really solid G1, and Sonata had some really solid G1 stuff, and then they had a really awful match this year at Dome Show, but that's not their fault. That's because their opponents are garbage. But
that match got 4 stars.
Sure. From people that are drunk lunatics who don't know what they're doing. But, yeah, those two, like, I think when Evil was wrestling in, like, ROH and stuff,
yeah,
and on his excursion, I was like, "Oh, he fucking sucks."
Takaaki Watanabe.
He sucks. Like, I was like, I don't think this guy's going to do anything when he goes back to Japan.
Yeah.
And then he went back, and he's had some pretty solid matches this year. And then, really, the only exposure I had to Sonata in the past was when he was in TNA.
Right.
And they really didn't know what to do with him. Like, he was just like...
TNA not knowing what to do with a Japanese guy?
I know, a Japanese guy who ends up being, like, a star.
Crazy.
But, yeah, I think they both had solid years, and they had great matches with Okada, and then they even had a good match against each other in the G1.
Yes, they did.
Which I was, like, didn't expect, but it was actually really good. So, yeah, they did really well. And then I think... Evil had a really good match with Okada? Or with Omega, I mean? In the G1?
Evil Omega.
Yeah, Evil Omega was really good.
Yep.
So, yeah, I think
and
both of them...
Evil Okada was so good, they did it as a title match.
Yep. So, yeah, I think those two really stepped it up. And the reason why I said Strowman was because last year...
worst wrestlers?
Both of us had him as worst wrestler, and I think the year before... What am I looking at? Oh, yeah. And the year before, you also had him as your worst wrestler, so...
Yes.
You had him 2 years in a row, and then I just had him last year, but yeah, so those are my improved.
I also had Evil.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have Sonata, but definitely could have. A third guy in addition to Evil and Sonata who really did themselves a lot of favors in the G1 was actually Juice Robinson, who actually had some. What did he have? He had a really good one with Omega, and a really good one with Okada. And again, obviously, two pretty good guys to have good matches with. But he actually did, and they've actually used him in like singles title matches this year. And because he and he beat Omega in the G1, and then he and Omega had a U.S. title match, and both those matches were good. And like I've like up to probably midway through this past year, I was actively anti-Juice because like Juice and Cody at the 2017 Dome Show was fucking worthless.
Yeah, a complete waste of time.
And like, I obviously never cared about him before. I never cared about him in
CJ
Parker in NXT. Didn't care about him as Juice Robinson in IWA Mid-South before he was in NXT, etc., etc. But yeah, he's like serviceable now. And what else I had? I also had Zeus
McFly.
Yep. VCW wrestler Zeus McFly, who's really stepped up in 2017
with all 0 matches he's had.
Hey,
that might be his best year.
Could be. One of the few years he hasn't won worst match of the year,
exactly.
So obviously things are looking up.
There you go.
No, obviously I'm talking about Tiny Lister, and I really like that cage match he had, and I think it's time he got his due as most improved. No, All Japan Zeus.
Z Gangsta?
Z Gangsta. Who I believe is originally from Osaka Pro, but has been in All Japan for a while. For a while he was just a muscle man. He still is a muscle man, but has added the ability to wrestle quite well to his arsenal of things besides being big. And
he is pretty big.
He's a big man, and he's been in some like really good like Triple Crown title matches this year. He actually just had one, I think, on January 2nd of 2018, so it doesn't count, against current champion Joe Doring, and I haven't watched it yet, but apparently they just beat the shit out of each other, and it was great.
I bet you some people would pay some good money for some customs from him.
I'm sure, yeah. He's missing out by just doing regular pro wrestling. So good on him. He sort of started having good stuff in 2016 because they did a bunch of Sekimoto and Okabayashi against Zeus and the Bodyguard, who is even a bigger muscle man than Zeus. I think he's shorter but wider. And they had a bunch of good like tag team hoss fights, and then since then he's had like actually good singles matches. And then I also had Travis Banks, who I don't think I had heard of at the beginning of the year, and now is the Progress World Champion, and he's been in Bola and all manner of good matches. So he's come from nowhere to like quite prominent in the span of a year.
Started at the bottom, now he's here.
So you know what? He really draked this one. So honorable mention to Travis Banks, and then also Keith Lee I had, who has been having like well-known matches for probably 2 or 3 years now, but I thought areas of his game up to this year were really lacking, and he didn't have the confidence in the ring that he could. But this year he's had some like legitimately great singles matches. Like him and Ishii from England was awesome. Known good star rating giver Dave Meltzer gave him 5 stars for a singles match with Donovan Dijak at Bola, and for those of you keeping score, Keith Lee and Donovan Dijak, both more 5-star matches than Bryan Danielson.
Last year your who to watch was Keith Lee, so you nailed it.
Hey, who to watch? Most improved. Perfect. We did it. He's actually a you can confidently put him in your singles main event now, and be pretty sure he's going to deliver, as opposed to previous years when that might not have been the case so much. So good for you. Huge black man with Mewtwo on his tights, because black dudes love anime.
Or Pokemon, but yeah.
It counts.
Yeah. All right.
Are we at the longest category?
Here comes the big awards. This is number 5, which is the worst feud or storyline of the year. I'm gonna let you go first because you have less than I do.
I definitely have less. And
I want to see if any of them cross contaminate.
I'm sure there'll be some cross pollination here. When we were writing these, we were just sort of jumping back and forth. We
wrote out all the lists of like what the awards were.
Yeah, and then we were together but did them separately. We weren't discussing them as we were doing them. And we would just occasionally make comments on things, and we were jumping back and forth between whatever caught our eye and whatever we thought of. And as I recall, Drew would write one thing in one category and then just keep coming back to this category with more and more and more things he thought of, because everything this year was terrible. I was not as prolific as him in the category, but I did have a few, and so I'll blast through mine, and we'll see what on Drew's list of the 37 worst things that happened this year. I can touch on. So the first 2 things I wrote down both involved the same guy. His name is Randy Orton. Randy Orton, for several years, has low-key been involved in all the worst feuds in WWE. He's essentially the new Kane. And sometimes the feud is even Randy Orton versus Kane. So the first thing I wrote down was Orton Wyatt, because that was nonsense.
That was complete nonsense.
And an insane waste of a WrestleMania World Title match.
It was a complete waste of a Royal Rumble win.
And a Royal Rumble win. And
like, a thing that is, like, to fans and, like, wrestling is a big deal.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah, Randy Orton, 2017. 2009 and 2017 winner.
Yeah.
Good for you. I'm going to come back to that in just a sec. My other Orton thing was Orton and Jinder, because that produced some matches also. Okay, that said, Orton Wyatt. Can we review the Randy Orton Bray Wyatt storyline that this time last year we were halfway into, but did not know all that was in store for us?
Right.
So
the feud started with, if I can't beat him, I'll join him.
Yeah, so it started with Orton and Wyatt were feuding like summer 2016.
Yeah.
Fall,
yeah.
I believe Orton won some of the matches.
Orton won some, and I think Rowan was out of the group because they had turned Rowan baby.
Yeah.
And then Harper was there, but not there. And then he was kind of also feuding with Orton, but it was real, like, convoluted, and, like, that, like, him and Harper and Wyatt weren't getting along or something. Yeah. Like, something like that.
And then at one point, sort of apropos of nothing, Orton turns and joins Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
And the way we could tell was that he wore a sleeveless hoodie now.
And started growing out his beard a little bit.
And grew out his beard a little bit. And then they were just a straight up heel team for a few months.
Yeah, and then Harper turned on them and turned face, and then it was just the two of them.
Yeah.
Did they win the tag titles?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they did. I want to say they did anyway.
Yeah, I'm going to look it up, but I'm pretty sure they did. But I don't think they held them for very long.
Yeah. But but they were a team with no signs of dissension for a few months.
Yes.
Cut to Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Orton wins.
Orton wins against what everybody else thought was going to happen.
Correct.
Yes, they in fact did win it in December of 2016. They beat Heath Slater and Rhino.
Cool.
They held it for less than a month and lost it to American Alpha in a 4-way.
Great. So, Orton wins the Rumble. Great.
Sure.
Bray wins the title at Elimination Chamber. Yep. Ending John Cena's record-tying reign, which lasted, I believe, 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Cena won it at the Rumble.
Yeah.
And lost it maybe 2 weeks.
Anyway, it might have been 2 weeks.
It was 2 or 3 weeks. Which ostensibly gives us Orton Wyatt at WrestleMania. But
think.
But they're friends. So
they're not just friends.
They're
family.
They're family. It was an Olive Garden situation. He was here and he was family.
God.
So Orton says, I'm not gonna challenge you because we're family.
2 weeks.
The reign was 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
Nice, excellent. Good. Good to know.
Yeah, family can't fight.
Family can't fight.
They fuck, but they can't fight.
Totally. So they have I don't know how I remember this. I guess just because the whole thing is so fascinating to me. They have a battle royal to determine who will get Randy Orton's shot. It comes down to AJ Styles and Luke Harper. Luke Harper gives AJ Styles a suplex off the apron to the floor. AJ Styles' feet hit the floor, An hour and a half later, Luke Harper's feet hit the floor. They say they tie because fuck you.
Of course.
Then AJ and Harper have a match, and AJ wins, so AJ gets the shot. I'm gonna say the next week, again, as apropos of nothing as his initial heel turn, Orton burns down Bray Wyatt's house.
Yeah. Burning the ashes of Sister Abigail.
Burning his already burnt and dead sister.
Yeah.
Which is really just putting a hat on a hat.
Yeah.
For no reason. Nothing had happened.
Nothing had happened. No.
Orton,
like doing something completely heel.
Completely heel.
To a heel.
Yeah. Orton was a complete dick.
Yeah.
Bray Wyatt did nothing but support him for 6 months.
Yeah.
Got him a nice hoodie.
Yeah. Nice sleeveless hoodie.
They were tag team champions.
Yep.
Nothing happened between them. Orton's like, nope, this 6-month long con is over. After I've already given up my world title shot.
Yeah.
Then I guess he just wrestles AJ Styles and gets his shot back. I don't even know how that happened.
I don't
Or did he just say, JK, I'm taking the shot, go fuck yourself, AJ?
I think he said, JK, I'm taking it, and then that ended up with why we got AJ Shane.
Because Shane said
because
okay?
Shane gave it to him, I think.
Man, that's just wildly stupid.
It's just lazy booking.
It's
just like, I don't know, just Orton can have it, and then AJ can feud with a non-wrestler backyarder. Like, fine, do it, whatever.
Do it.
It's SmackDown, nobody cares.
Yeah, whole thing was amazing. Like, literally one of the most amazing storylines of the past.
It did lead to Maggot
years.
Mania, though.
It did lead to Maggot Mania. When I wrote this a little while ago, I just wrote women ? Because there had to be something terrible with them.
Sure.
In talking about it, the two identical 3-woman NXT call-ups, which both of which went largely nowhere,
which are working out real well at this point.
Yeah, is definitely something, and I'm sure there's something else terrible that they did, but nothing's coming. And then similar along the lines of it's a larger version of Orton Jinder was just the Jinder Mahal experiment, which is one of the worst things that's happened since and including 9/11.
Sure. It's a real 9/11 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Yes. Some would call it 1822.
Sure. Double the 9/11.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
because everything about the gender experiment makes me mad. One, a non-white champion off to a bad start already, right? We can all agree. No one's happy about it.
Brown champion.
Yeah. The worst color of champions.
Yeah.
White champion, great. Black champion, hey, if you must.
Not very often.
Yellow champion, Yokozuna, good enough. Yellow. Pacific Island yellow. Not full.
Sure.
Not full.
Not Bing Bong Ching Chong Chinese.
Yeah, not full Bing Bong Ching Chong.
Yeah.
But brown, not in my America.
But in Vince's America.
That's what's surprising too. Vince seems like he wouldn't be on board either.
I think what's the most surprising about it is just how completely ignorant and dumb Vince is about India and Indian culture.
And business.
He's
a businessman.
Yeah. But like...
he's been a businessman his whole fucking life.
A country where notoriously nobody pays
for
sporting events, and then you're going somewhere where you're going to charge $1 million a show?
Yeah.
I got it. Where nobody's coming to pay money for anything.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let's just do 2 shows where the tickets cost more than people's yearly income.
Like, when you look at, why was Jinder champion? Why? Because India accounted for a bunch of their YouTube
65%, I think it was?
Yeah, of their YouTube.
Of their YouTube hits.
What did they make off of that?
What? Yeah. How much? What's YouTube money translate into regular money at?
Oh, what's the YouTube to real conversion? I think it's roughly the same as the Zimbabwe dollar.
Oh, so nothing.
Almost nothing. But because of that...
And what do Indians like to do? Not spend money on things?
Well, yeah.
That's why YouTube got so many hits? Because it's free?
Yeah, something about YouTube being free never, like, made it to, like, the meeting, I guess?
Scott, I'm a little confused about something, and maybe you can help me out on this point here.
I can try.
So, let's say there's some fictional country where... you don't really have a tapped market to, where you have very, very loyal fans. Like, fans that, like, love the product that you put out and aren't as used to it as North American fans, say, where they're spoiled and they have high expectations and unreachable dreams that are never going to happen.
Let's call this place Blindia.
Blindia. Now, you're trying to get your foot in the door and make a bunch of money from this Blindia.
Yeah.
So, your thoughts are, I'm going to take a guy from that country and give him a push and put some money on him.
A Blindian.
So that he can go to that country and be a hero and everyone can make money off of him.
Right.
However...
I'm listening.
What you really want to do is you really want to take a guy and make him a completely evil bad guy so that when he goes to that country, everybody hates him.
Interesting.
That's what you want to do, right?
Yes.
Am I confused by the way that this works?
So far, so good.
Now, also correct me if I'm incorrect. Could you have not taken a, let's say, already popular wrestler, made them the champion, maybe somebody who tends to have a very feminine soccer mom haircut, to that country, and made more money than you were going to make with a bad guy Blindian? It's like somebody really doesn't understand how things work. I think the highlight of that was the fact that they had to combine down to 2 shows, from 2 to 1.
Yeah.
They also took the title off the guy, and then had him lose
his match
to, like, a guy who's generally a heel.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, they did a heel versus heel match, and he lost.
That's the best part.
Yeah, that was the payoff of the whole experiment.
Jinder Mahal's title run was so that Triple H could beat him in India.
Yes. After he had lost the title, because they had to get the title off.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, just what a fucking disaster. Yeah. And we got, I think, more than 6 months of world champion Jinder Mahal. The 3-man band Jinder Mahal has been fired before Jinder Mahal. On the most steroids in the promotion.
Prove it. Prove it.
I would love...
It's all natural.
It would be so easy to prove.
He cut carbs out of his diet. That's how he got like that.
Here's how I can prove it. Take one test. Take one test. And...
just be in the room with a test. And it's going to test positive.
Just wave a test near him.
Yeah. It did, however, get us the one and only good thing, which was Jinder's opponents being really mean to the Bollywood boys.
Yes.
That's the only good thing that came out of it.
Randy Orton almost breaking Gurv Sira's neck might have been the spot of the year.
And not really caring about it?
And kind of going, my bad about it.
My bad, I don't really care.
Yeah, didn't care. They're not people.
They're not people.
No.
They weigh too little. They're nothing.
Yeah. It'd be like tossing an Oompa Loompa.
Sure.
You feel nothing.
You feel nothing. Yeah, you don't even care. They're nothing.
It's like kicking a dog.
Yeah. Those were yours?
Those are mine.
Okay.
What are your 17?
I'm going to run down the ones that aren't important to get to the one that's the most important.
Okay. Do we have some crossover?
We only had one, which is Orton and Bray. I didn't really do the Jinder thing, because Jinder's getting a shout-out later.
Okay, cool.
So, there was the failed Global Force takeover of Impact.
Yeah.
That exposed Jeff Jarrett for the drunk he is.
A drunk maniac.
Fat drunk maniac. That was also included in Triple Mania.
I was going to say, that crossed over to Triple Mania.
Where he was
it's crazy that
drunk lunatic.
Triple Mania basically ended the Global Force Impact deal.
Yeah, 100%.
Which is hilarious.
Because people at Anthem didn't realize that Jarrett was who he was.
Oh, Jarrett's fucked up.
They're like, oh, he's a fat racist who's drunk all the time.
Yeah, and we're like, we only like regular racists like Ron and Don Harris.
Yeah, and then he tried to fight La Parka, like in the back of the stadium.
Yeah.
From there, it goes to the horribly failed Shield reunion.
Oh man,
which culminated in
we looked it up, right?
Kurt Angle's terrible return.
They had one actual match as the Shield, right?
Yes.
One.
Because either one of them was hurt, or one of them got what did he have? The mumps?
Mumps or meningitis, depending on who you ask.
AKA he got pop steroids.
But other, like, Bray didn't get popped for steroids. He, like, the Rotundos are definitely anti-vaxxers.
100%.
Yeah, that was a great one. So it, so the first attempted reunion resulted in Kurt Angle wrestling in, on
like 4 days notice?
Yeah. Yeah, it was that, like, mid that week.
Yeah.
And although that also did get us AJ Finn out of nowhere, so hey, you take the good, you take the bad. I never watched the TLC. You gave a bit of a running commentary during it, and it sounded hilarious.
Yeah.
And terrible.
Yeah.
Dave Meltzer, of course, gave it 4.25 stars.
Of course. Because Dave might have dementia.
Dave has a brain injury.
So yeah, that was a big part of it.
And so there was that, and then like a couple weeks passed, and then when Roman came back, they had one unadvertised match on Raw.
Yeah, it was against The Miz and The Bar?
Probably.
I think.
Yeah, it wasn't against just like Miz Taraj.
No, it was Miz and The Bar.
That sounds right. And then they were supposed to have a bunch of house show matches. Like the entire house show tour was built around Shield matches.
Yeah.
And then Dean Ambrose his arm fell off.
His arm fell out of his arm.
Yeah. So yeah, one Shield match from all the shit they've been
something
doing.
you've hyped, like you could have been spending all this time hyping towards.
Yeah.
And then got ruined.
Just got so
total
fucked.
Waste of everyone's
so
time.
Hilariously fucked.
Yeah.
I love it. I regret not putting that.
No, you should. Then there's a couple like smaller ones that I just are worth mentioning, which is just Enzo and the Cruiserweight division, and 205 Live literally just being about Enzo Amore, like his own show.
Yeah.
Considering everyone hates him and he's not allowed to dress in the locker room still.
Is he still not?
Still not allowed to.
That's great.
Because everybody hates him.
Yeah.
And then...
Who do they like more, him or Alexa Bliss?
Alexa Bliss.
Okay.
Because she's pretty.
That's true, she's pretty.
And itty bitty.
Titty committee?
Yeah. And then pretty much anything that Minoru Suzuki did this year that wasn't title matches against Okada.
Agree.
Which is complete bullshit all year.
Yeah, if I was to title that entry, it would be Minoru Suzuki taking a year off.
Yeah. Minoru Suzuki not wanting to do anything wrestling related, but still get paid.
Yeah, and hold a singles title.
And hold a singles title.
For most of the year.
Yeah. Then I also wrote down the completely pointless year of Bullet Club expansion.
Yeah.
Of just adding random assholes that no one cares about.
Leave Gino Gambino out of this!
Or the other gorilla.
Oh yeah, him too!
Or just showcasing more Chase Owens.
Hey, the world needs what the world needs. To quote the poet Burt Baccarat, what the world needs now is Owens, Chase Owens.
And then another of the ones that I just wrote down as a reference is Hunter being a self-mark for himself.
Sure.
Which was booking himself to win the Survivor Series match.
Oh, yeah.
Also, from what I've heard, is that the reason why...
He was also world champion in 2016.
Yeah. The reason why Hunter books himself in things is because him and Vince are constantly fighting about everything.
Yeah.
So if he's involved in storylines, he's closer in control of creative.
Yeah.
So he can control what happens.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, the fact that he last minute booked himself into the Survivor Series match to then win the Survivor Series match as a man who barely wrestles.
Yeah.
Is just garbage.
That was a weird
garbage.
That was a weird Survivor Series, by the way. That also
Bunch
had
of old men.
A lot of old men. Also had John Cena coming back as a surprise and doing nothing, and jobbing out.
Yeah,
like very quickly,
hanging out.
It was really weird,
hanging out in the corner.
Yeah,
John really wants out of wrestling, but they won't let him.
Yeah, so that whole thing was odd. Didn't someone? Oh, did Triple H sort of get hurt in that match?
No, Kurt did. Remember he hurt his leg?
Yeah. Because I remember someone just like wandering around the outside when they probably should have been doing stuff, but were too hurt.
And I agree with you on the Orton and the Bray thing. That was really terribly booked this year.
Yeah.
I am going to tell you the number one, and I cannot believe you didn't think about it.
I know I missed stuff.
Kurt Angle, Jason Jordan, is his son.
Yeah.
That is the dumbest and worst thing. And it is like, everything about it is just like, oh, hey, this guy is vaguely similar to how Kurt was. So, like, and Kurt, we know that Kurt's down with the swirl, so let's...
Of the two members of American Alpha.
Yeah.
They picked the wrong one.
They picked the big one. They picked the biggin.
If someone narrowed it down for them as far as to say, we're doing a Kurt Angle's son gimmick, and all you have to... we're not going to leave the whole roster open. That's far too much to choose from. Just choose someone from American Alpha. How about...
White guy?
The white guy that was in the Olympics. No,
bigger guy.
Bigger black guy?
Bigger half black guy or white guy? Bigger black guy.
Yeah. Damn it. You got me.
I think the only thing that I enjoy about this thing
is how it's slowly destroying Jason Jordan's career.
Oh yeah, well that's one of them. But how much commentary, like, I think it's Booker and Corey Graves both like really subtly shit all over it.
Well, it's fine for Corey Graves.
Sure.
He's the heel commentator.
Sure.
Booker's a face. He acts, and since day one.
Since day one.
Like, Jason Jordan's a straight up heel and he hates him.
Yeah. Well, and he also takes subtle shots at, like, how dumb it is.
Yes.
That he's his son, and, like, that he gets, like, oh, you're giving special treatment to a bad wrestler. Like, that's the good part about it.
Booker, like, has a legitimate vendetta against it.
Yeah. That's the best part.
Like, non-storyline.
That is literally, like, that is the laziest, like, soap opera booking you can do. Is like, we have a guy...
Secret child.
We literally have nothing for him to do. Like, we do not know a single
besides
thing.
the fact that he's in an excellent tag team.
Sure. Yeah. Like, we don't have a single thing he can do. What can we do? Well, let's just make him somebody's son.
Yeah. Because, they weren't great on NXT, just being an awesome
being a
tag
good team who can wrestle. And it's like, yeah, you're right, it's 100% killed him. Like, you know how, like, we had said, I think in the past, that Jordan had the best face comeback?
Such a good comeback.
He's completely lost that.
Yeah.
He literally has none of that, like, explosiveness.
They made him change it. Like, he doesn't even do the same comeback anymore.
I think, well, originally, because the idea was he was turning heel.
Yeah.
But then Ambrose got hurt.
They had to make him Ambrose, but then okay.
But now they're teasing tension.
That's the thing. Like, what are you doing? Because, like, yeah, so, like, the initial plan was, because they're fucking idiots who can't read a room, and by a room I mean any human being.
Yeah.
The angle was going to make him a bigger face. And that was the plan.
Theory, yeah.
In theory.
Because Kurt is super over, and he just came back, and he's really hot, and we want to capitalize on Kurt.
Yeah. Then they're like, oh, everyone's shitting on this. We should turn him heel.
Yeah.
So they're in the process of turning him heel. Ambrose goes down, so they have him step in for Ambrose. win the tag titles with Seth, and in that win, like, he's a full-on face, like, him and Seth, like, celebrate afterwards, everything's cool, but every single week since then, he's been a geek that Seth is, like, annoyed by.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Because I imagine that being in creative and in the, like, booking is, like, there's a room full of people that are like, the storyline is terrible, Jason Jordan's awful, why are we doing this? This is awful, let's try and think of something better. And then Vince McMahon, Kevin Dunn walk in the room and go...
Are they kissing when they walk in?
Of course.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, and, like, hand in each other's back pockets. Like... Ooh. They're real close, and they're like, "Hey guys, this Jason Jordan thing is working great. Let's keep running with it."
You know what always creeped me out? I think it was in Prison Break. The Robert Knepper's character Teabag. He was like a real, like, super creep, and he had, like, little boy bitches. Mm-hmm. And the way he would, like, walk them around was they would hold on to the... Like, they would pull the inside of his pocket out and hold onto it and walk around, and just that image always creeps me out. So that's how I picture Kevin Dunn and Vince McMahon. Kevin Dunn just holding the inside of Vince's pocket as they walk around. Is
Vince wearing, like, a white tank top with his suit jacket wrapped around his waist?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I gotcha. I know what you're saying. To me, that's the worst.
No, that's
worst storyline.
That's an important one.
Alright, well, now that I've written down all of my answers, I don't have anything else to say for the rest of the podcast, so we're done.
It.
That's it, it's over. See you guys.
Alright, see you next year.
Number 6 is the best feud.
Oh.
Which...
Do you have...
I literally only wrote one down for because it's the only one that matters.
I've got a few... I've got 3 legitimate, one... legitimate in its own right. What's your one?
Mine is... Miz and Maurice as John Cena and Nikki Bella.
How the fuck did I forget
that? That is a number one.
Yeah, no,
I mean,
you're right.
The worst payoff of all time.
A horrible payoff.
However, we didn't really have to watch it.
No.
Or we didn't have to watch the aftermath.
Yeah.
But just them impersonating the two of them was the best thing I saw all year. Maurice as Nikki Bella was fucking spot on.
Yeah, and Miz was fucking cold as ice with, like, the things about John Cena he chose to mock.
Yeah.
Like his run.
his run, or just, like, how, like, his strictness.
Yeah.
And his John's rules of the house.
Yeah.
Like, everything about it was, like...
being a robot.
It was literally, like, I would like to hope that they were like, alright, Miz... If you just say whatever you want about John, like,
just go.
Say what the Marks would like to say, or, like,
yeah.
what you just anything. Literally go for it, and then he did.
Yeah,
and, like, he nailed all those things about Cena that, like, everybody else knows. Like, it was like exposing Cena as the piece of shit he kind of is.
Yeah,
right. Like, it's
totally
great. That was the best thing here. I don't even need to think of a second one.
There's a reason Miz got nothing but cheers at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
In the terrible match they had.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't even need number 2. That's it.
That was tremendous for sure. So this is we have this as best feud / storyline.
Yeah.
I would be remiss not to put as far as feud, Okada Omega, who had 3 of the best matches of all time in 1 year.
Depends who you ask.
Depends who you ask. Most people seem okay with it. So them, noted guy who Drew likes, Zack Sabre.
Yep.
And Chuck Taylor actually had a great feud through in PWG through most of the year, which also involved Marty Scurll and Trent.
Cute.
Because it was various incarnations of Taylor and or Trent against Sabre and or Skrull, leading to Sabre Taylor at the anniversary show for the title, which Taylor won in kind of a surprise. I don't know if a lot of people saw Chuck Taylor winning the PWG World title in actually a great match, maybe his best ever, and so that was really and. PWG also, just because of the way it's structured, doesn't get to do a lot of real storyline-y stuff, and so it's nice when they're able to.
Yeah, when they're on top of something.
Yeah. So they actually did there. Something along the lines of your Mrs. and Maurice's in terms of running promos on WWE TV. I thought the Fashion Files were delightful.
Yep.
Until they got relegated to the internet because everyone's an asshole.
Well, because how dare you try and get yourself over?
Yeah, that's what you get. That's what you get. Yeah. Well, were they even like? It's not like it wasn't like the Zack Ryder thing where he had like his own YouTube channel and got over that way. Like this was a thing they put them on TV to do.
Yeah,
and that got over.
They were writing it themselves.
Yeah,
like they were letting them do their own thing, and they were just like, "Well, we don't want to fire them, so like, just let them do a stupid thing on the side." And then they were like starting to pick up. Like the crowd was super behind them. Yeah, and then they were like, "No! You guys don't get to do anything.
Not on our watch.
You get to go over here. You're going to be on tout.
You're getting squashed by the Bludgeon Brothers."
Done.
And my last one. Which I think covers more than 2017. Yeah, it does cover more than 2017, but it definitely had its share of twists and turns in 2017. I think when history looks back, this will be the best storyline maybe the best storyline of the 2010s. Alberto Del Rio and Paige.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is there a better story?
Nope. I mean, it's kind of over.
I think it's basically
like
over.
They're basically broken up.
Yeah, but now that Paige is
wrestling
career's over, maybe she's gonna come running back to him.
Maybe,
and she's probably gonna get all pilled up.
Ooh,
well,
I do enjoy this,
right?
Yeah,
there's
good potential.
I don't think it's over. I don't think the storyline's over.
Right, let's hope so. I hope it's not. I hope
all kinds of twists and turns because like they're both in WWE. Alberto is Paige is 23.
Yep.
Alberto is, I don't know, conservatively 45.
Yeah.
He's late 30s.
36?
I think he's older than that. I think he's like 38, 39.
You might be right, sir.
Anyway, he's a bunch. Like, in Mexico, he could absolutely be her dad.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So they start dating. WWE hates it when their people date, and they do everything.
Especially when it's a weird age gap and one of them's still legally married.
Yeah, that too, and also when they, and one of whom they've already fired before.
Yeah, Alberto is 40.
There you go. So, yeah, so they send Paige to Raw. They send Del Rio to SmackDown. Did Del Rio get fired or quit in his last run?
I think he quit.
Okay,
because he had a no compete clause for a little while.
Right. So Del Rio quits. Paige gets injured. Paige travels the world with him, showing up at shows that she's like not allowed to show her face at because she's still under contract.
Yep.
They're both, I believe, abusive alcoholics.
Yep.
And the way I'm making this assumption is because they would post a lot of videos online of both of them drunk.
Yes.
They would get into domestic disputes at airports.
At airports, yeah.
They would break up. They would get back together. They would get engaged. They did not get married.
They did not get married.
They broke off the engagement, got it back on. Paige...
Del Rio opened his own restaurant, and then there was some kind of fight with him and a fan or something.
Yeah,
and
Del Rio got into some
and
other
then
fights.
Didn't he miss tapings because he got stabbed, but he didn't actually get stabbed?
I forgot about the weird stabbing that totally didn't happen.
Like he just didn't want to go to the tapings, so he got... Or like he got stabbed and robbed or something.
I think he got stabbed. Pentagon gets robbed a lot.
Time. I got mugged on my way to the airport, so I can't come to Defy.
Pentagon Jr. is Mexico's most robbed man.
Yeah, but yeah, he definitely got fake stabbed.
Yeah, he got fake stabbed.
And then there was rumors that it was Paige that stabbed him.
That's right, and I really hoped it was.
Yeah, but it wasn't. Yeah. And like he didn't even get stabbed.
Yeah, and it was like a total lie. Nobody got stabbed. Then they broke up. Then Paige finally got cleared to wrestle after like a year and a half almost.
Yeah.
Comes back, has 3 matches. Sasha Banks kicks her in the back and fucking paralyzes her. Why am I laughing? This whole thing's funny. I don't know. She's not paralyzed, but she can never wrestle again, so that's kind of funny.
So good. So good.
As we were saying before we went on air, Paige had the old forced All Japan Women's retirement at age 25, but not just because she turned 25, but because her neck doesn't work anymore.
Did you see the video of the injury?
I did.
Yeah, it's bad. I mean, it's not Sasha's fault, but it's
not
like,
really.
It's like really like whoop, like whippy. Like you can see Paige immediately like, oh yeah, she's definitely hurt. She's not moving after this.
Oh no, she wasn't moving.
Oh, and then the ref kept like checking on her. She kept trying to get up.
Yeah.
And then she was like,
and then, oh no,
my legs don't work.
My body does not work. Like it seemed like Paige wasn't ready for it, but she should have been.
Yeah, she knew the spot.
They've done the spot before, and it's like a pretty basic spot.
It's also at the same time, it's kind of a sketchy spot to do as somebody who has like a neck and concussion issue.
I agree.
Right? Like that's like when who was it that we were watching that had like the actual it was like the Young Bucks tag match at the Dome show when one of the Tempura boys like legit hurt his back. Yeah. And then they're just like, fuck it, let's just work back psychology on a guy who's got a straight up hurt back.
Yeah. So yeah, like it was a simple enough spot, but at the same time, probably not one they should have been doing with someone with a very damaged neck.
Yes.
And yeah, just because for those who haven't seen the spot, Sasha's in the corner, Paige is near her with her back to her, and Sasha just sort of hoists herself up on the ropes a bit and boots her in the like upper back,
in like
with,
shoulder blades.
Yeah, in the shoulder blades with both feet, and it should normally, like, if you're ready for the move, it should just sort of hit you and you fall forward, and you're kind of tensed up and ready for it, chin tucked and all that. Paige was like the opposite of chin tucked, just like
loosey goosey,
and like she gets this like you can see like when she like and Sasha hits her like pretty snug.
She makes good contact, yeah.
And just the whiplash, Jesus Christ, it's like Paige has no bones.
Yeah. She's like a jellyfish or something.
And then just like goes down like a ton of bricks, tries to get up, and it's not happening. Just her body has completely failed her. And yeah, so long story short, Del Rio Page storyline of the year.
I was reading last year's. I want to know if you still endorse this comment.
I do.
You said that the worst storyline or feud of the year was Sexy Star's push. In brackets, it's 1,000,000 times worse than Roman Reigns. Do you agree?
Yeah, it was. Just
still. It was still worse than anything that has continued with Roman Reigns.
Based on how much each person deserves it, yes.
Fair.
Because Sexy Star is a categorically terrible wrestler.
The worst.
She is, in 2017, proved herself to be a categorically terrible person.
Human being, yeah.
And she got a world title.
Total see you next Tuesday.
A real see you next Tuesday.
Or Thursday.
How come
why
does
Tuesday
nobody say Thursday?
Yeah, I think Tuesday gets too much emphasis.
It's true. You know what? We'll take it back. We're taking back Thursday. Oh, taking back Sunday. Good emo band. We did it.
We did it.
I don't know what we did, but we definitely did it just now. Yeah. We can go to the next thing.
Which is Fall from Grace.
I like this category. This category is fun.
Yeah.
Why? Because it's negative.
Who doesn't like negative?
I've got 5 people.
I have 4 people.
Well, look at us.
I wonder if any of them cross over. I feel like some of them do.
Do all of your people work for WWE?
3 of 4.
I have 5 of 5.
There you go.
I have a number 1 and then 4 others.
I have a number 1 and then 3 that are just the other 3.
Yeah.
Is your number 1 Seth Rollins?
No.
Oh, mine is Seth Rollins.
He's not on my list.
Oh.
But he could be.
But he very well could be.
Yeah, he was,
future?
I guess he was a main eventer and the future. And I guess he's not anymore.
Yep.
So,
well, Scott,
that is definitely worth...
Don't get hurt.
Don't get hurt.
Because we can't trust you.
Guys, if we can give you one piece of advice, don't get hurt.
If you get hurt once, we can't trust you with the title, so we don't know what to do with you.
Drew, what are you talking about? Finn Balor got hurt, and he's just as big as he was before.
Well, funny thing is, Finn is my number 2, so...
Finn's an excellent one. Could we just talk about every member of WWE.
How about anyone who was an indie darling and is now in WWE?
Sure.
They are numbers 1 through 10.
Yeah.
On the list.
How about Dean Ambrose, who's on my list?
How about Shinsuke Nakamura?
Also on my list.
But also by his own accord because he just wants the money and to surf.
Nakamura's a real interesting one.
You know what? I respect him for that sense, that he's just like, get to live in Florida, I get to surf, my kids get some money. Done.
Yeah.
For fans, it sucks.
It sucks. Like, what's Nakamura's best match of 2017?
I don't know. He doesn't have one.
Especially, what's his best WWE match? Because he had 2 fine matches with Bobby Roode in NXT.
Yeah.
And then he got called up, and what is his best match since getting called up?
He doesn't have one.
Doesn't, like...
him and Ziggler when he first debuted?
Ziggler? Cena?
Cena, I guess.
Killed him?
Well, yeah, sure. When he killed Cena. Because Cena didn't know...
It was totally Nakamura's fault.
But, yeah. Waste... It's almost like if Nakamura would, like, left to go back to MMA. It's like you're wasting some of your best years doing something that nobody cares about you doing.
Yeah.
You know,
here's a bold statement.
I like when you give yourself the giggles with your own statement.
Yeah.
That's always fun.
Just because the wheels are turning, because I'm as surprised as you at some of the things that come up. I posit to you that Nakamura and two former-ish New Japan wrestlers, Nakamura and Shibata, had the same... did as well as each other from April on this year. I couldn't measure one above the other.
Too soon. Too soon. Poor Nakamura.
Yeah, poor Nakamura.
Getting compared to a man who's what could have been brain dead at this point.
Jesus. Yeah. So yeah, what one I put, I don't even know if you can put it. It's because you could have literally put it every year since 2010. Dolph Ziggler is a perennial fall from grace. Like, they find a way, like...
Every year.
Like, last year he had entrance music last year.
Yeah.
Although...
They sort of started to give him the, like, Charlie Haas, Damian Sandow gimmick of just, like...
Yeah.
Mocking other things, but he did it in, like, a heel manner.
Yeah.
As opposed to a face manner.
Right. But now what's he doing?
He's retired.
Oh, right. He won the U.S. title, and the only reason he won it is so Vince could fuck the odds makers.
Yeah.
Because, like, they pick one match every pay-per-view to, like, change at the last minute.
Yeah.
So that's why he won it. Then the next night he quit.
On SmackDown on Tuesday he retired because he was done with wrestling, whatever.
Because Drew, it's because he was over it.
He's over it. # over it.
And yeah, so I don't even know what that stupid storyline is going to be. I don't care because it's Dolph Ziggler. He is maybe 5 years ago when he was getting like underused and stuff. You could feel for him. But he's, what are we at? 2013 Fall from Grace. He is on the list.
For you.
For me. Fucking A. So, yeah, things have gone well in the last 4 years for him. But yeah, because 2013 he won the world title.
Yep.
And then got a concussion.
Which I'm sure most people don't remember.
And then got buried. He won the world title the day after Mania.
Don't get hurt.
Don't get hurt. Because then the rest of 2013 was a fucking write-off, and they did...
And then all of his 2014, all of his 2015, all of his 2016, all of his 2017...
No, 2014, he was the fucking hero of Survivor Series.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And they're like, oh, they're going to do something... No, they're not.
Yeah, that's right.
Why would you think? Why would you think they're going to? And then, 2015, nothing, 2016, nothing, and here we are. No entrance music. So, yeah, he's always something. And my number one... have you said everyone?
I still have one left.
Do yours.
Mr. 141 himself. Ishii, who deserves so much better than he is given.
That is true.
Considering how hard he works and how good of a wrestler he is.
I agree.
And instead, they bury him in garbage 6-man tag matches and... literally have no idea what to even do with him.
Yeah, last 2 Dome shows, he hasn't got to do shit.
Nope.
which is a bummer.
It's always like they push him a little bit, and then just kind of give up. Yeah. Like, all right, here's your title match, you lose. All right, go back to like teaming with Yano. Just
they never consistently do anything. He at least still like had a bunch of good matches this year.
Yeah,
like he had the trio with Omega, which gets overshadowed by Okada, but they were all great,
all good. But I feel like it's not like anything. He's not doing anything important.
No, and he had like 7 4-star plus matches in the G1 that ultimately meant nothing.
Yeah.
But since G1 I couldn't tell you anything he's just been in like. I don't think he's had a singles match since G1. Right?
I don't think so. He had trios stuff and tag stuff.
Yeah.
And not being on show stuff. Or like 10-man tags.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
just multi-mans.
Nothing of importance.
Yeah, he definitely he deserves so much better, and I wish they would do something with him this year, but I'm not holding my breath.
Don't.
My number 1 is a poor, sweet young girl named Bailey, because holy fuck, did they kill this bitch?
Yeah.
God damn it.
She's not pretty.
She's not pretty.
She's dumpy. She's dumpy and lumpy and gross, and that's why.
She was...
Nobody wants to fuck her. Well, everybody wants to fuck her, but nobody wants to fuck her.
She was a fucking hero in NXT.
Yeah.
She was one of the most over people...
In the whole company.
In the company, man or woman.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it did not... When did she get called up? Sometime in 2016?
Yeah, it was... middle of the year? Because it wasn't at the draft.
No.
But it was not that far after the draft.
She made an appearance at SummerSlam as like a mystery tag partner. And then came full time like another month or so later. Yeah. So like fall.
Yeah.
And fall 2016.
And then that was when they blew her winning the title from Charlotte thing, remember?
Yes, because Charlotte had like the 14 pay-per-view win streak, or like
undefeated streak,
going into Mania. It should have been going into Mania, and then they had a match at whatever the fuck the February show was, Fastlane.
Yeah, maybe.
And Bayley just beat her, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So then Bayley is champion going into Mania.
Yes.
And she wins in an okay match.
In a whatever match.
And then within 2 months of Mania, they have killed her the fuck dead with the insanely horrible Alexa Bliss feud.
Yes, real bad.
Including one. They had a gimmick match that was like one of the worst matches of the year. Well, it was some kind of pole match.
Yeah, pinata on a pole, Viagra on a pole.
That was it.
Sorry.
Or just like a Singapore cane match or something?
Maybe? I'm just quickly looking here. It was... Oh, yeah, it was that fucking 4-way.
Yeah.
At Mania.
Yeah.
Where they forced Nia Jax to take that really mean, double German thing.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, and then, it was... it might have just been a Singapore cane match.
Yeah. Just go ahead by
Yeah.
pay-per-views there, and it should show up. But yeah, it was because basically her first feud after Mania was Alexa Bliss, I think.
She lost it to Alexa Bliss at Payback,
which was the next show,
which
right?
is the next show,
and everyone's like, "Oh, in her hometown, in her hometown." That's right. That was the beginning of the end, and then the end came probably the next month. So what was after Payback?
God damn it! It's gonna give me. It doesn't like to go. It likes to give you every show that happens. So United Kingdom special. Take on Backlash.
Probably Backlash. What do we got there?
Backlash was SmackDown only.
Okay, so it's the next one.
Extreme Rules.
Oh right, yeah. So I bet it was Singapore Cane then.
It was, in fact, Kendo stick on a pole.
Yeah. And Kendo stick on a pole. Oh, it was both.
And it was only 5 minutes long.
Yeah, but that 5 minutes was just And so within those two pay-per-views, she's dead.
Yep.
Never to recover, literally.
Nope.
And like, is she even on TV now?
Yes,
but she's just like a jobber.
Well, yeah, I think she just, they were doing that thing where they were teasing her and Sasha breaking up because they were like
right,
never tension between them, but then like there was no payoff, and now they're just friends again.
Right,
like because it was like they were gonna.
Oh yeah, they were totally teasing.
Like they were gonna turn Sasha heel, and then there was rumors of them turning Bayley heel.
Right,
but they were gonna turn Sasha heel, and then they just kind of like gave up on it, and were like, well, you can just still be buddies, be friends, be chummy.
I remember them saying like, at a point, like, turning Bayley heel would have been, like, the most disastrous idea ever, but at this point, who gives a shit?
At this point, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Like, they've killed her that badly. That like, imagine if there was talk of turning Bayley heel, like, after the Brooklyn match with Sasha. That would be insane. Yeah. But, no.
Now she's a perennial, like, Big Show at this point. Like, doesn't matter if they're face or heel, no one cares.
No, she's dead. Good job, you fucking idiots.
Yeah. Way to go that you're
such an easy person to book.
Way to go that you ruined literally not only the easiest person to book, but like the easiest babyface underdog.
Like
easy.
We've said it a million times. They're so bad at booking babyface. Like like Sami Zayn's a heel now.
Yep.
Because they couldn't
figure out how to use him.
Yeah. And again, he's as easy a babyface to book as Bayley.
I mean, he's probably harder to book than Bayley because he's a total pain in the ass backstage and nobody likes him. But
he's fine.
He's fine. He's a real CM Punk.
I don't know if he's a real CM Punk.
Yeah, that's fair. Nobody's CM Punk. But yeah, that's big fall from graces.
Yep.
Last year you also had Nakamura, so
yeah, because he really didn't do
and Ibushi.
Yeah, because Ibushi didn't do fuck all in 2016.
He was just being a silly man in a tiger mask.
Yeah,
well, that was
some 16 and 17.
Yeah.
But he was at least like in the G1 this year, and
none of mine are relevant or important at this point anymore.
Are they all dead?
Enzo and Cass, Rusev and Taguchi. None of them fucking matter.
All pretty irrelevant.
I mean, Rusev kind of, but not really.
Yeah.
Anyways.